We are beginning now.
I bet.
Okay. Alright, there we go.
I
And then
bet.
chat might actually be in here tonight, so I need to turn off the purple bar. Okie dokie. I think we chilling. Alright, sir. So how's it going? Episode 31. Episode like 2 or 3 for you. One second there, sir. I think I lost audio with you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you were muted. My bad. I don't know if you
Oh,
meant to do
yeah,
that or not.
no. Apologies. Yeah, mom
You're
came out.
you're good. It was
So
right
what's
as I
up?
was clicking on things, so I got nervous.
No, you're good.
But there we go. So here we are. All right. So we were talking about the MLB trade deadline.
Yeah, I think you're right that besides Verlander and Scherzer, there really wasn't like the boom move. I mean, I kind of figured Jack Flaherty was going to go. That he went to the Orioles was kind of cool, but it is what it is. I actually thought he was going to Texas. So
I don't know. I think I just get so like the NBA, just because it's more I feel like individual based than baseball is.
yeah,
Like I get so used to like the big stars moving around that it's almost kind of like if it's not a star going somewhere, it's like harder for me to like
yeah,
be like wow that was crazy. Like so now whenever like in baseball and there's like more like or like really good role players that are being moved around, I'm just kind of like I'm used to the star power
cool.
at this point. Yeah.
And I get that too because even in soccer, like most trade deadlines or close to, you're going to have some big moves. There's always one or two big names always going. So. Now, granted, soccer covers more of the world. There are more clubs, but still, like it's very rare that you get like a really kind of dull season, like summer season where there are no trades. For instance, apparently one of the Saudi Arabian clubs tried to come in and offer like 256 million. I think I heard that for was Kylian Mbappe, and that's like the most I've seen offered. So like everyone was blown away.
Yeah, and he turned it down too, right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but like it's still
Okay, so but I mean, listen to this. The man's already making close to, I think, like 2 or 3 million a month, which in soccer
is
is
that it?
impressive. I mean, he could
And
really be
soccer,
making
I
like,
think that's impressive in general.
yeah, that's fair. So with that, like he also has rights to like walk into I think it's board meetings of PSG. Like he gets to make decisions or have a say in making decisions at club level. Like to stay there, they offered him a deal that like it was unbelievable
Yeah,
because they didn't want Real Madrid to take him.
I want to go to Manchester United.
I really, really. Okay, cool. We can go. Liverpool
What?
play there once a year.
What? You're not a big Man U fan?
As a Liverpool fan, they're the arch rival, so
Oh, so you're like
no, I
kind of
cannot
iffy on
say.
them then?
Yeah, just a little iffy on, you could say.
Okay, well that's fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think sadly, like if you were to like hold a gun to my head, tell me pick a team right now, I'm going with Arsenal. I think.
And it's ironic too because they're the Gunners. So ha, I see you. And I respect it.
I'm
They
a
are a like well-known, respected team. They've been competitive for many years. They challenged for the title last year. They're going
Yeah,
to
see, I don't
be
know shit
in
about all
the.
that.
I mean, it's kind of like if somebody walking up and saying like they're a Golden State fan or like a Lakers fan.
Well, see,
Like
that's
it's
why
like
I'm
it's
nice to you, and I tell you when somebody would call you a bandwagon. You were gonna let me just go on with it. You were hanging me out to dry, fake friend.
Oh, I'm trying to like tell you about. You should wait. Say that again.
What? If like whenever you said like if you came up to me and you said, hmm, you know, I think I'm a Denver Nuggets fan. I'd be like, well, that's kind of bandwaggy of you, and people are gonna say that to you. Well, me, I just said Arsenal, and you were like, that's a well-respected club. I doubt they're gonna be well-respected if they be like winning and shit like that, because then people are gonna know that I'm just being a bandwagon. You're supposed to save me
I
from
mean,
that heat.
well, but I don't know. It depends on how much you could know. But if
Not
you
shit.
can like, that's why I'm telling you. Like this next year, we can watch games because, quite honestly, that way you would see all the clubs. You would
They're
kind of
so
understand what
long though.
they. Dude. It's shorter than a football game. It's shorter than a NBA basketball game.
Well, yeah, but
It's
with
about as long in
basketball,
length as
there's
a
like
college
action
basketball
going
game.
on. It's like entertaining.
Dude, there's so much action in soccer.
Dude, I'm
Like,
telling you, my issue watching people run around for an hour and a half of game time and score one time. How's that exciting? I don't like. That's the part that I don't get. Like, how can you be excited when nothing is happening?
I mean, I like it, but I'm apparently the odd one in the group there.
I mean,
But
fruit
my three
fruit
favorite
loves
sports
it.
are soccer, hockey, and baseball. So all of those are pretty low scoring. I mean, we've seen games where there were 17, 24, 27 scored, but that's really, really rare.
I don't know. Who's Holland play for?
Manchester City.
I like him. I do like Holland.
I mean, he's an amazing soccer player. He is a great scorer. I can't take away any of those things and feats from him. He plays for my dad's team, so
Oh, so
I
your
would
dad's a big
kind
Holland
of.
guy. Does your dad have a Holland jersey?
No, Dad doesn't really buy jerseys that much.
You should get him one for Christmas or for his birthday. You should get him a Holland jersey.
Um, if I bite my tongue hard enough, maybe.
I was gonna say also probably depending on how much they are, because I don't know what soccer kits run for.
With Holland's name on it, it would be about 130 bucks.
Oh, I expected worse honestly, just because it's soccer.
The worst that I know of are hockey jerseys. My Bergeron jersey, I think, was like 225,
I mean,
and then the captain's badge, that's another 25.
you paid $25 to put his captain badge on your jersey that you already bought.
Yeah, because it didn't come with it. There was no way to add it. You have to get the badges and iron them on.
Why doesn't it just come with the badge?
Nah, soccer for you, but or hockey. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
I was about to sit here and like back them up and support them and say that it was because that their jerseys are like quilts,
I
but
mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like the heaviest you'll usually see me get in winter is a hoodie with a hockey jersey on top. That is extremely warm.
I bet it is. That's what I'm saying. They're like full on quilts, so I can see paying more for them than what you would pay for like a regular jersey. But my issue is $25 for a patch. That's where I draw that's the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the end to the world as we know it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. That $5 just tears up the side there.
Hey,
Um,
it's the small things that get to me.
and it's the small things that'll get you. So you can pay an additional $5 for extra 2 days quicker shipping. You can pay an extra so and so for this badge. You can pay an extra so and so to get the actual game worn jersey.
Well, I feel like well the game worn jersey, yeah, I get that, but like if he is the captain, and I buy a Bergeron jersey, damn it better come with that patch. Why would I not want it to have the patch? Like, that should just be, like, a given, included.
Mine did not.
Well, I'm trying to take over the NHL's,
Marketing.
yeah. I wanted to say marketerizing. I was like, that's not a word.
Yeah. Close, but
Yeah, close. I was like, it's close. I was like, but it's missing something.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there was a little too much added there.
Oh, yeah, or that. Yeah, whichever.
Yeah. Yeah. So soccer is actually some of the cheaper jerseys sometimes. I mean, I bought some of my Liverpool jerseys as low as like 70, $80. Um, I bought a Darwin Nunez jersey and it is
I forgot about that.
130. It's the most.
I forgot to do that.
Yeah, as
Wait a
much
minute.
as I love defense, midfield is
Oh.
my favorite position. I'm so touched.
No, this thing came off. Hold on.
What?
Sorry, Will. I'm fighting the this thing. Where's my little boxes? Oh, there they are.
You guys look great. I love you. I'll be in chat.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
I completely goofed the thingy-majigger.
Are we still live?
Yeah, but it might be a little busted now. We're live, but it's busted. The screen is like all the way off from. Like it was showing my Discord friends and my.
Oh yeah, that's busted.
Yeah, last night I didn't have to mess with it, so I thought it was fine. And then now my full screen Discord, so now I don't think that's good. That didn't work either. Whoopsies. Last night I had it set up to where the boxes like enlarged it out, and then it was like just the two of us, but it's not trying to do that tonight. Sheesh.
That was popping. Brand new whip just hopped in. Got options.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially broke the shit. The shit has been broken.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Well, lassies, we're jumping off the edge tonight. Save yourselves off the side.
You know, you should be a pirate.
You know, I dream one day of, like,
I broke it.
having a girlfriend who loves to dress up for Halloween.
Yeah.
And I can be a pirate. Because I think that would be dope.
Yeah, why don't we just do the pod like this? Why don't we just go completely black screen and then just sit here and talk and have absolutely nothing going on with it?
I mean, that's, well, usually people just, just turn the cameras off if they want to do that, so.
Yeah, that is true, but then I couldn't see your pretty face behind the screen.
I am not excited about work tomorrow.
Wow, what specific? Do you have anything specific going on that you're not a fan of?
Work tomorrow. Even though it's a half, I'm always worried about traffic trying to get up to Louisville. Or Shepherdsville.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were talking about that last night about traffic just being absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, it is getting better. But I checked today around the time I'll be going up, and there were like no accidents. It wasn't bad, so I should be able to make it in my normal estimate. which also means I get to sleep in the night. So
Oh, it's, yeah, because he says the. And I do not get to sleep in tomorrow. Sandra's already asked me to go with the gym to her tomorrow.
what are y'all gonna hit?
Oh, you know how her workouts are.
So I'm gonna tell you what not to hit.
Okay, that works.
Tomorrow's chest and back. So do not hit chest or back.
I'll probably do at least one of those.
I figured. So if you're
Look,
gonna
dude,
do
when it's just
one,
me in there with my mom, my mom's gonna be doing her random things, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna be doing whatever looks fun. And I've already killed my legs today with the squats.
yeah, you were pushing pretty good.
Was that 205 or did I do math wrong?
You mathed wrong.
It was 40.
No, wait, hold it. You math right, I think. Yeah, I think it's 205.
Because it was 245, so 90, and then 70 because it was 235s on each side. So 70, 160, and the bar is how much?
45.
45 or 25?
45.
Oh, it is 45. Okay, yeah, I math
Yeah, it
correctly
is
then.
205. Yeah.
I'm good with calculation.
I do declare, sir, you have math rather well.
I
I applaud you for it.
I love the Dark Knight, dude. Favorite superhero? I already know this, but
The Batman?
er,
No, wait, you said The Dark Knight. Do you mean the movie?
yeah, I was saying the movie, but then I was saying who is your favorite superhero?
Ooh, favorite. It's probably Spider-Man. I grew up with it'd either be Spider-Man or the X.
See, I agree with I feel like my issue with Spider-Man though is I feel like that's like the cop out answer
Okay,
because
so
everybody loves
here's my-
Spider-Man.
and there's a reason.
Yeah. Of course.
You know, I kind of grew up nerdy, and so I related to him a bit. While I could not leap around buildings or so on, I was also generally viewed as smart.
You're nerdy.
Whoa, dude.
How did I not know that?
Do you want me to pull out my 8 sets of D&D dice? Should I go grab my magic? The guy.
You know, actually, I do kind of want you to go grab your box. The box is so
That's
funny. I just
hilarious.
oh no, I do love the box. The box, dude. When you busted that bitch open, started flicking through all the little things, showing the clicking on the dice and all.
Oh yeah.
That was
Dude,
good.
I got such beautiful dice. They're so I'm thinking of getting into like tabletop. So I admit up front I'm a dice goblin or a dice hobgoblin at my size, but still. So having gotten into
Wait, are hobgoblins not
personal-
smaller?
no, they're bigger.
I thought they
So
were
a regular
smaller.
goblin's gonna be no. A hobgoblin is like 5.5 feet tall. They're almost humanoid.
Okay, but now I have a follow-up question for you.
Okay.
Is there anything in D&D that you use to correspond to like your everyday life? Like, is there something that you've learned from D&D that makes anything in life easier?
So I have always had an imaginative mind, so it gave my mind something to like meld with and build characters around and kind of run with. And I like fantasy style anyway. I go like Lord of the Rings was it. Star Wars is great, don't get me wrong. Lord of the Rings, come on.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings is
So-
the king.
Yeah. So with that, I followed to the fantasy style, and I kind of just started getting into it. But the benefits it's gained is like group building, storytelling. What is it? Cooperation among others, leadership,
Okay. That's all. Like I like.
organization.
I like.
You know how
I
hard
like
it
to hear
is
when
to
people
get-
give real
you
like
know how
stuff
hard
out
it is
games.
to get 5 different adults scheduled together to find 8 hours to play one game once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's nuts. By the way,
Yeah.
which is one reason
That's
why
a little sick.
I'll never be interested.
Never knock it till you try it, my dude.
8 hours? I'm not knocking it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, because we'll start about. Well, usually it's only like we'll start about 6:37, and we'll go till midnight on 12:30.
Now, say you want to do that on Xbox? Sure. Where I'm just,
Nah,
where I'm
let's roll some
just.
dice.
No, see, I feel like it's actually rolling the dice metaphorically to go and sit with a bunch of people at a table for 8 hours, and that sounds more like rolling the dice. Because what about whenever I take his uh, swamp and then he comes at me with his IRL ogre and tries to kill me, and then shoots me, and I die during a D&D game?
No, nobody's gonna do that. The worst I've
You
ever seen
can't
was
say
someone
that.
walk out. But
Somebody
I
get
would just
what?
say it. I mean, in all my years, I've never heard of someone who died. Like maybe they had a heart attack because they were 90 and still playing, but it's not like people on average get so pissed. Because you gotta realize, like, really, there's not that much money involved. I mean, you may have bought dice, you may have bought a couple of the D&D books if you
You
use them.
know, maybe bought a deck that was. Or no, sorry, I get Magic and D&D confused.
Yes.
I was gonna say
Now,
buying
Magic,
I was
okay.
gonna say buying a deck with $3,000, and that being cheap.
No, you are hyper over exaggerating. All right. The most expensive deck I have right now is about 900.
And you said that was cheap.
No, that's pretty good. I'm only going up because of the concepts I want to do, and I want to make them competitive at the table I play at so I could win. So to do that, I
It.
have to get mana rocks and such. Like I think there are two cards alone I'm going to buy. They're like 700 combined.
This is
My
literally
next two
like
decks.
pay to win IRL.
No, because there are some $40 decks that could wipe mine out. It's just so what that does is allows me just to move a little faster. That's all it does. So like my Crick deck, for instance, what he does is he's uh four colorless, three Phyrexian, which means you can pay with a swamp or two life. So what he's got life link. I don't think he has death touch. He gets a +1/+1 for each black spell you play, and you can play black spells for two life. So he makes swamps Phyrexian mana. And from there, you just kind of like there are cards there and there like Bolas Citadel. I can look at the top card of my library. I can play it for mana cost, and I pay life for mana cost. So like, there's certain things you do. It's like you draw your deck, and then there are certain cards. It's like certain opponent loses half their life, you gain half that life, and
Yeah,
then I use life to pay more to dig for my cards.
but none of these things escape my point. It's just that it's like even what you said. You know how hard it is to find time for five adults to sit down at a table once every other week for 8 hours.
Yeah, no, you ain't wrong.
Like this game just seems like it's so much more hassle than any amount of enjoyment you could get out of it.
Nah, I love it. I will play till I die if I
Hey,
can.
but that doesn't mean you're gonna be playing it for very long.
Well, if I tap out tomorrow, that's what God had in mind. But I'm still planning to go play D&D next Saturday.
But do you think it's what God had in mind if, say, somebody else did like a completely like irrational decision, like they were drinking and driving and they hit you? Was that God's plan for you to die and that, like, to be the victim of that other person's drinking and driving?
Yeah, because imagine the story he's going to hear about the life I've lived and like the people I've touched. And maybe he feels remorse. And maybe he comes to know God. I mean, who am I?
I didn't say you lived.
Well, I can't speak for that, but maybe some people go to my funeral and hear about God for the first time and they get saved.
You know how shitty it would feel
From
though
there,
to
maybe
feel
there's the
like
next
yeah, I was supposed to die, so that way this other guy could live and enjoy his life.
I mean,
That's
I am the kind of guy that jump on a grenade for his buddy.
you would jump on a hobgoblin for a buddy.
I would kill the hobgoblin for a buddy, but if we're going back to fantasy times, I know the trait skills I'm taking. Your boy gonna be the best roguiest rogue. Well, actually, I think in
Yeah,
IRL I'd be a barbarian, in truth, but
I'll take the
I
bard
could
though.
dream of being a rogue. Huh?
I said I'll take the bard, but I want to know out
You
of
could be a bard.
I want to know though, just out of your experiences today, what was something that made you smile, made you keep you away from the bad thoughts. What was a positive thing that happened with you today that you were like thankful for? I guess pretend it's Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for, Will?
Um, well, I was thankful I woke up this morning. Um, Thanked God for that. Kind of got up, got my day started, and I got to chill. I mean, I didn't have work.
Yeah,
In
we
truth,
did
there
a lot of
were a
chilling
few
today.
things yeah, there were some things I wanted to get done, but it wasn't like going to take a lot of time. It was just things to get done.
Yeah.
So I chilled. I went to the gym. I got my stuff done. I ate. Today was a good day.
All right. Now let me hear big words again.
Philosophy.
Yeah, let me hear that version of you. Like away from the actions that you did. What is like if you were to tell somebody that was having a rough day, what would you tell them from your experiences today that would make them feel better?
Well, usually what I experience is like people struggling over work or with work, um, some things along that. So I would remind them like, hey, the good was that I had today off, and I'd remind you that you've got a day off coming up. You can make it through this day. It's not as bad as you think, I promise. When you start looking at it a little better, you see the better.
There you go. And that's why, of course, I'm on here all the time moaning and complaining about positive energy, because when that negative energy is around, it makes
You
everything
feel it.
very cloudy. Yep. You feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it on your shoulders. But then whenever you're like, oh, we'll just think positive, think positive, think positive, and then eventually you'll just kind of notice, like, hey, my shoulders are a little lighter today. Or,
Yeah.
like, hey, everything's a little brighter.
Yeah. So that's like I tell people all the time that I used to struggle really bad with deep depression, but I kind of realized like God doesn't want this for me. I'm supposed to see the happiness and the good in life, and so I changed my perspective and I tried to be the good in the world instead of all the bad and the negative we see. That way, I would help other people smile, which then makes me smile more, and I get to have fun.
I try to stay on like that, but of course, as you know, with everything that I try to do, I also get scared that I'm going to do it too much. So then I wait.
Yeah.
So then instead of underdoing, I actually overdo it.
Okay. You do often overdo things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think I try to change my own perspective to be the better version that I can of myself, but I get really freaked out that just because of how I am, that I'm gonna take it that one extra step, and it's gonna like change who I am, and like as in like me not being true to myself, if that makes sense.
Okay, so
So like me not being me because I was trying so hard to change my perspective, that now I'm like an altered version of myself instead of still being true to who I am.
so the with the use of like drugs aside,
I like drugs.
okay, because like psychology
Drugs are
and
bad.
all of that, people prescribe you medicine that will change you, like what is it? Adderall, so on. And those things can change you.
We love to
They
make fun of
change who
Adderall
you
on this stream. We
are.
love the Adderall jokes.
Right. So, putting that aside, Like, I would say that if you're you're trying to change, if you're okay with the change, but like, is that change and the person you become better than who you were? Like, you're talking about remaining true to yourself, and like
It,
there are parts of you that you should always keep and you shouldn't change, I guess. But there are also like positive attributes that you can pick up throughout life, and sometimes they cause change in your life.
because I feel like a
Like the
lot.
person you die as shouldn't be the same person you were when you were, in high school.
Well, definitely not high school. God,
Yeah, right?
if it,
See, but that's called growth.
if yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like there's like I feel like I like to emphasize the purity of one's soul and still like and not changing that aspect, but then like being able to change things around it, if that makes sense. It's like not changing your soul, but just changing the little outer pieces, I guess, but still keeping that soul the same.
Oh, okay. Examples.
You like how I explain things, don't you? I know you love it.
I do. I
When
do.
I
But
when
what's an
I'm explaining
example?
things and you're over there like, the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
It's my favorite face because I get it at least
Oh,
once a day at the gym.
usually. But like, I think I'm tracking. I just want you to explain it a bit more so I can fully understand. Because I feel like there's like this little chunk of information that my brain is like wrapping around
It
without
gets
making
clogged a
sense.
lot. I have to get Drano and pour it in this ear, and then it runs
Oh,
through and
nice, nice.
unclogs everything and comes out this side.
I was just gonna say like close close your ear.
Oh no, I hate doing that. But
Sometimes I have to pop my ears.
okay, I'll put it like this. So we both know somebody who used to be extremely nice. They started adding things to them that was in theory good for them. They were doing smart things. Them gaining those smart things then changed who they were and they became a shitty person. So
Yes.
they added good things, but then they ended up changing their soul instead of keeping their soul the same. So now their soul is tainted and yucky.
So it also comes from like who they were to begin with. So I also think there's a part of this that like deep down this person was this person and they just had kind of been riding a thin line that they'd never been able to open up to such things. And then when they like got those, it was
They like
already
kicked the door
feeding who they
down and
were.
started throwing dynamite everywhere and
So so for instance, imagine that you were discussing like the soul of the person and the things around them. So
yep.
imagine if that was their person, but all the things around them kept that from being seen. And then when exposed to it, it kind of like broke those things and allowed them to just be who they were. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
Naruto with the like chakras. So the seal broke. Like he suddenly was able to take on more of the tails
Uh,
and take more power.
gotcha. I was gonna
But
say you'll
he
lose
also
me on Naruto.
sorry, it was the example in my head.
Sound like you're gonna be like old Jimmy with his anime.
Old Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Jim
I
Jimmy.
do enjoy Jimmy. I do enjoy anime. It's just I haven't watched it in years, and it's hard to like. I haven't had some reason to have that itch like filled in a while. I guess because I watched a little Naruto Shippuden here or there for a while, but that was like it. That was the last thing I watched.
As somebody who like usually really likes being over dramatic, I'm kind of like I would kind of feel like that I should like anime, but I feel like they like something about it. It just genuinely makes me uncomfortable. Like when they make like the little faces where like their eyes get like 10 times bigger and it's all white, and then they have like the little squiggle marks that are supposed to be like them blushing down the sides of their face. I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well,
Like
so that's
just stuff like
they're
that. Like
drawing
the
from that. Okay, so did you enjoy Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry?
I mean, yeah, more than
Okay, they took those concepts and applied them to like our real life to overemphasize, and that's kind of the point.
but
In their culture, that
I know what I'm saying. That's what you would think that I would like that because I like when they do it on like movies and like TV shows, like when people are being extra, like Trailer Park Boys. That's literally the entire show is them being just extremely over the top, stupid, just crazy. But yet, whenever I watch it in cartoon form, I'm just like, what the fuck am I
what am I
watching?
watching?
Yeah, like that's just
Right. Well, have you gotten to check out like Rick and
like
Morty
like
or filler clips?
I I I just didn't care for it. Not even Rick and
Well,
Morty.
that makes sense, I guess, because
Like
it's the adult version of like those cartoons. This is like the
oh,
adult version.
like Adventure Time, regular show, like all of the Cartoon Network stuff.
Yeah,
And see, and yeah, and you know I didn't like any of those either.
I respect it. I do.
And then I don't know, but like you go back like I think that's why the original SpongeBob's are so good. But then like when you watch like the newer ones that they're coming out with like nowadays, it's almost like it is like leaning more towards an anime because the graphics are so much better. So they add so much more like to his silly faces that he makes and all that kind of stuff. So
Right.
so it like makes it like instead of funny, it becomes more silly, I guess. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah,
word.
it fits. I understand.
No, Rick and Morty's not the best. I
I
don't know. I
enjoyed
like Pickle
the
Rick.
Rick.
Pickle Rick.
Um, I did enjoy it. So, I mean, I'm gonna say I think you're missing out, but I can understand why you don't like it.
The closest that I ever got to liking it is they actually um they did like a little part of a song on one of Logic's albums.
No way, really?
Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
Hmm. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you have to listen. That was pretty cool. That whole album is so good. I say that and I can't even remember the name of it. But it was the one
I
that
mean, I'm a pretty big Logic fan, so
well, of course you remember my '99 Camry I had.
yeah, I do.
Um, I used to like this album came out whenever I had that car.
Oh, okay.
I think it might have been. It was either No Pressure or wait a minute. How old was I in 2018? Oh, I was already at Staples. We were at Staples, weren't we?
Yeah, that's the year I worked there.
Okay, so it's either Bobby Tarantino 2 or No Pressure.
I'll look it up. I I generally hear him talk about like Bobby Boy, so I kind of figured there was a tie there.
Yeah, the kind of another conversation too, like we had about like before Travis Scott's new album just came out, and I was kind of talking about how, I mean, you said it was kind of his thing, the way that it was produced, and I get that, but where I was talking about like it almost seemed like it was just too much.
No, and like I got two-thirds of the way through it, and by the end I felt much the same. It was a little too much for me. I mean I enjoyed some of the songs in there, but usually I'm like vibing to most his album, and there are one or two that like on a bad day I may skip. But like this one, there were like two or three I enjoyed. I mean, what was the big one that was supposed to be on there with Drake? It wasn't even that good.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude. That one let me down. I think that one set my tone for the rest of the album already. Like I was already pissed off
It
at
did.
the album because that was the one that I was.
Most looking forward to hearing.
I've
Yeah.
been I've been on
No,
a
I
little
get it.
Drake fanboy session here lately. So I heard
You
that
know,
one. I was like, that shit's trash. I'd go back and listen to it again and be like, nope, still hate it. Yeah, sometimes the
Yeah,
songs
so-
like that, like you hate it at first, and then you listen to it a few times, and then eventually you're like, oh, I do like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that with some of MGK. First, I didn't like him, but there were points I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
Fuck you. Always hate on my man.
I said I liked him like at the end. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, but you insulted him in the beginning.
I just said I didn't like him in the beginning. How's that an insult?
I know. Yeah, because you said you didn't like him. It's an
Well,
insult.
you sold me over.
Well, I'm a
He's
great
like,
salesman.
He's no Nas, but
Nas?
yeah,
As in, like, the goat of, like, one of the goats of rapping Nas?
yeah.
Okay, you went a couple decades back on me. It just caught me off guard. I had to clarify.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say Nav.
No. Although, well, but Nav could almost be taken as like electronic. Like it is rap, yes, but like there's so much like electronics in it.
It's very, very similar to Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Like I
So-
saw a clip of Travis Scott rapping, like where he was like rapping into the microphone. His voice sounded nothing like what was coming out of the freaking speakers when they played it back.
Dang.
Like his voice just sounds different from like, I mean, of course it's gonna sound different because of like the auto tune and stuff, but it sounded like two different people, I thought. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I was like, you could probably literally take anybody in the whole world and have them sing Travis Scott's lyrics, and these people could make it sound like this Travis Scott song.
Well, but they're getting to the point they could almost do that with anybody's voice these days.
Well, yeah, but That's-
Not to go, like,
that's
end of the
AI.
world, but yeah.
yeah,
That's-
that's the AI doing it. I'm saying like they could make you sound like Travis Scott.
Bet. Let me go make them Benjamins.
I'm not hating on you. I mean, if they came up to me, I'd be like, yeah, sure, of course. But in the core of me, I would know that they would have picked anybody else off the side of the street to do it.
Yeah.
It
You
sucks. I
could
mean,
maybe take over for Eminem.
Eminem can kiss my ass. I hope you're listening to me right now. Fuck you, Eminem. And I mean it.
Nah, he's a goat dog.
Nah, he's watching this.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
I'm just saying
totally-
he's a goat, you know.
No, you're just trying not to get caught up in a diss track. He don't want my bars, dude. He don't want to get into a diss track battle with me.
Matt, I'm right behind you all the way. I believe in you. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win.
I'll make him have a heart attack because I'll kick his ass like I was on crack.
No,
See, look at that. He can't touch that, man. And that was just like off the top of my head. That wasn't even me.
Let's get writing. Let's go. I love it.
But no, what's okay? I'm gonna steal this from Negan. What is your goal to have achieved by this time next week? So in the next 7 days, what do you want to have accomplished? Speak them into existence.
Intriguing.
It is intriguing.
My
I'm a great podcast host, man. What can I say?
desk cleared. You know, I'll clean my desk.
You clean your desk
Yeah.
and the picture frame.
Yes, I'll clean that too.
Okay. All right.
All
I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at just the picture frame, and I'll give no more details. But
It's only been that way for like, 3 years now. I mean, it's no biggie. It's nothing. We're vibing.
but yeah, that's also on the agenda.
Yes, that is also on the agenda. Absolutely.
What do I have? Tomorrow, I have a lot of work to do in the yard, and I'd really, really like to. On the side of the house, it looks like a tundra, and I'd really like to like completely level it all out and actually make the pathway around that side of the house like visible again.
That'd be dope.
So that's at least a goal for tomorrow. Cause that'll be
That's a good goal to
cause,
have.
cause that'll be the only real day I'll actually get to do it. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what it is. Since you showed me what bluegrass actually is, and we talked about this the other
Mhm.
day. Now I'm just like every time I'm looking at my yard, dude, I'm just like, wow, I got some nice looking grass.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Every time I look at the yard, I'm going, wow, there's another hole the dog dug.
Yeah, that's how our pig was when I had my pet pig. Because
I'm sorry, I forget you had a pet pig.
he would like carve out like this tiny little tunnel with his snout, and then he just shoulder drop into that bitch, and would like spread it out over time. He'd be sitting there, he'd be sniffing it, and then just boom, drop that pig belly right into it.
Intriguing.
Yep, and he would
At first, I
wallow
thought
out
he
like
was
a
hunting
little.
for truffles, but
No, he just. We used to feed him dog food.
they'll eat anything.
Yeah, he ate dog food until he got too big. He lived in the house with us. My most fondest memory was I was sick, so I didn't go to school that day. But I was like actually sick. I wasn't faking this time, and
Oh, yeah.
I was like laying in the floor, like over kind of by the window, because the breeze was coming in, and it was just kind of cooling me off because I had a fever and shit. And I just remember hearing like these little oinks come down the hallway. And I remember like rolling over and looking at him, and he like stopped and made eye contact with me, and I guess he could tell that I didn't feel good. So he was still a piglet at this time, so he did like his little trot over there, and he sniffed me a couple times, and then he just like laid down up against my arm, and the whole day that I was laying right there in that spot, he snuggled with me the entire day.
Aw, that's super cute.
I think that's why I hate animals so much now, is because
Really?
I don't want to have what I had with that pig, man.
It's better to have loved and lost than never loved at all.
Exactly. So
But
I don't need to love again.
again.
No, and also I've told you this before. I know that I can't mentally give one
No,
I can't give one what I know that it deserves. So it's kind of like my same thing with women. I would love to be one of these guys that can go get a girl and just do whatever, and then but I like now I'm just like,
I mean, it's not me either. I get it.
and now I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't want to like. I've hurt so many like people. I don't want to hurt anybody anymore. I'm over it. And like same thing with animals.
Hey, I get it.
Like I know I can't give them what they deserve because I feel like they have more going on than what people think they do. Like I think you said you don't think animals have souls, right?
Uh, I don't know.
I feel like there's something, and I just feel like that it like deserves to be appreciated, and I don't think I can give it the attention that it would need to be appreciated. So I just don't fuck with it.
I respect it though. You have your beliefs and you stick to it. That's good.
For the first time in my life. It used to be like, I have a belief, but I'm down to do anything that you tell me to do.
But fair.
That's kind of how. I mean, yeah, you remember Round Top.
I do.
I actually found a video on my old YouTube channel the other day from like 2014 or something like that. I'm wearing a cat shirt with a bunch of hot sauce on it. And I pour a bunch of like the hot peppers from Pizza Hut. I poured like a plate of them, and then I got a glass of lemon juice, and I licked the plate of lemon peppers and then down the lemon juice. And I even set up
Wow.
a second camera angle and everything.
How was that?
Oh, it was glorious, man. That and then
How did it taste?
oh, I mean, not great. Now I can chug lemon juice like it's nothing because I put it on my shakes and everything. But at that time, especially with the peppers, it killed me. But the
Yeah.
my favorite video that I ever made, and it's only my favorite because it's the one that's gotten the most appreciation. Like my nephews asked me to turn it on because they want to watch it and everything. So
Aw.
I took that scene from The Princess Bride, where Andre the Giant Remember when he towards the end of the movie when he beats everybody up in the hallway,
Yeah.
and then he's just standing there and he's looking around like this. I found out how to zoom in on it. So the video cuts to the slow-mo all the way zoomed in on his face, and he's looking around, and then it just rips the loudest like gas noise that you've ever heard in your life. And then the rest of the video is whenever Diego Montoya is having like his like final sword fight with the bad guy.
Yeah.
Every time that he goes to say his name, it goes, "My name's Jeff," every single time.
My name is Jeff.
Yes.
Professor Doc.
Yes, and it is literally like I've had to go back several times and pull it out over the years to show everybody.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's kind of why I've been so invested with this stuff lately, is because, especially after watching, like I talk about, Syndicate doing all his little like daily vlogs and everything, and then talking about how it's like a scrapbook basically of your life.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I'm down to hang out on here all the time. I mean, just I have better conversation than what I would have if I'd like if we weren't doing this right now. I'd probably just be like laying in bed watching YouTube or something. But like,
we'd probably be on zombies, but
hey, you get hooked. Go ahead and get hooked. Do it.
I mean, we're getting there.
I don't know what the heck we were playing earlier.
Oh, I was useless by like round 22. There were legitimately 5 rounds. You just like every time I was pulled up, I dropped. There were so many zombies behind you, that, like they hoarded. I literally couldn't turn around.
Yeah, I know, but my justification for that was that at least it kept your it reset your like little time before you blacked out. Because if you blacked out, it would make me go 2 rounds. I would have to complete the round, and then I'd have to go do like a boss round or something by myself. And it was giving me like that sniper rifle it gave me. I cannot explain to you how bad that thing was.
I get it. I had one of those too.
Yeah, but it was like you were completely dead, and there was like 50 zombies chasing me through a creek. That little creek.
Where I saved like the syntax or the Molotov.
It was like if I even tried to stop and pick one up, though, I just get absolutely swarmed, and then there'd be like the mimics just running through the middle of them all. I'm like, well, you guys just get out of here. But no.
Yeah, I was not complaining about being kept alive by no means, but it was just funny that like I would even try too, because there were a couple times I tried pulling out the like death gun or something, the minigun. And I was just like, as I'd mow 2 down, I killed the mimic once.
I know. The pistol was so bad that I had that round that like I was literally shooting them and it like wasn't doing damage, but it had the little mod on it that would like freeze them. But they were still just running through it and smacking me anyway, so I have no idea what the point of the gun was. But it was so bad that I kept picking you up so that you would spray your death machine for a couple seconds, and then you would die, and I would be like, if I keep picking him up, he'll just keep using that death machine. So I just kept...
It's a strat, man. It's a strat.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what my strat was like at certain points in time, because there was...
The flamethrower is the best.
I don't think it's the best. I think it's just the most chaotic. I think that death machine was probably the best. No, do you remember the cruise missile? When there was that entire swarm that was on us and you were about to die, and the missile just came down and literally blew up everything? That was sick. But no, I think the issue with that mode though was that like the only way that you can get perks is by like beating the rounds and everything. And so like you can't go buy them. And then we're on round like 35, 36 and you don't have any perks. Like, what does the game expect you to do?
Yeah. Yeah, there was, it was so hard to stay alive at some point.
Because it got to the point where I was picking up the free perks, and it wasn't giving me anything because I already had all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed one time when I was just dead, I was looking at your screen and I went, my gosh, he's got every perk. I don't know one.
Yeah, they had like 6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the good ones though. They would have had like I like Widow's Wine. A lot of people don't like it, but I would have been fine with Widow's
What's
Bond
it
in that
good?
situation. That's the one, like, you get Simtex grenades instead of the frags, and whenever they explode, it's like a web. Or, like, if you get
Uh,
hit, the web shoots out and it tangles all the zombies in that radius in the web so they're slowed. So, like, if you get hit, it slows them all down while you run away. Stuff like that.
it's kind of dope.
Yeah, I like that one. And PhD Flopper, I have no idea what its point in existence is because you're literally like the main point of the perk is that you don't take explosive damage, and I almost killed myself with that RPG like 3 times.
You saw that whatever 3-shot kaboomer I was killing myself with.
I'd hear boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
and then I'd res you and hear boom, 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 boom. It's just, I think
It was without fail. I just couldn't stop it.
I had 30, 37, 38 revives.
Yeah.
But it was like that's what I'm saying though. Like it just wasn't fair because like you couldn't. The game was giving you nothing to work with.
Yeah, because like through some of the heaviest rounds that started getting there, I had the spade, the sword, the ballista knife, and the little like half uh, katana. Like I'm all of these up close weapons, and we're fighting hordes. Like please just kill me. Just end this. Take my damage away.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
Oh, and let's not forget the cane.
Oh, the cane was legit. Don't talk shit about the cane.
It was good for one person. When you're swarmed, there ain't much you can do. It's not swinging to kill 10.
All right, so let's see. We've talked short-term goals. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about nicotine addiction. There you go. There's one.
Okay.
Let's hit that one real quick.
Alright.
Okay, so
You start.
well, for starters, I'd like to point out: do you think, in the long run, that vapes are actually better than anything else that people have been smoking for? Like, do you think they're any better or worse for you?
I think there's less chance of death, but I also think they're still bad for you.
Well, like I think that, but also sometimes whenever I hit them, I'm like, that's 10 times worse than any cigarette I've ever inhaled in my entire life. Like sometimes you hit the vapes and it's just like straight, I don't know, just straight chemical. So I almost feel like that even if it's like a different kind of result, like I don't know, I've almost come to the point where I think vapes might actually be worse than. I mean, obviously
Well,
the smell and everything is so much better, clearly, but like you're not walking around smelling like cigarettes all the time.
I mean, I've seen studies done where like you don't get near the burn rate, carcinogen rate. Like it's not leaving the tar behind. Blah blah blah. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna argue with you too much. Like I'm not picking these up again until
Oh no, not argue, debate. Because
Debate. Uh,
debate.
debate. So I will agree with the premises that I think they're both equally bad. I think that the vapes are slightly better in some ways, and then slightly
Convenience.
worse in some ways.
I think convenience is the main issue. Because like a cigarette, I can go outside and smoke a
Yeah.
cigarette or whatever, and I might be busy at work, whatever for the next 4 or 5 hours, and I won't get another one. But if I vape, then I don't even go outside for that 10 minutes. I work through the whole thing, and I'm sitting there probably puffing that vape anytime that I get the single opportunity to.
Not at my job. You still gotta go outside to vape, but instead of being out there for like 15, 20 minutes hitting a cigarette or something, you can pop out, hit that 2 or 3 times in 3, 4 minutes.
And I want to go ahead and say that I didn't think about how disgusting this part actually was at the time, but I did it because I thought it was fine at the time. But like when I worked at the pizza place, every time that we'd go into like the walk-ins or something like that, there was already a mist just because
Yeah.
of how cold everything was. So it was like it was Toke City in there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, vapes
That's
were
kind of
getting
cool.
ripped, Delta was getting ripped, everything, and it'd be like I remember one time we like ripped these like fat ass clouds, and it was like the Delta ones, and then no,
Yeah.
actually, it wasn't even the Delta one. I think it was an actual like THC 9 pin, and one of our managers opened up the door, and all the smoke just went flying out into the kitchen and everything, and they were like, why is it so cold in here? And they were like, oh, and they were, and Buddy was like, oh, we were playing with the water, and it fucking made mist just go everywhere, and they were like, you fucking idiots, get out there and get back to work. And we were like, I was like, I don't know if that worked or not, but that didn't get fired, so.
Yeah, right. I'm not fired for this. Lego.
I I would like to get back out into the workforce. I miss it, but I
I
don't.
mean, I wish we could get you a job at Amazon somehow.
I actually looked for the
Flex.
yeah, I did see that where they have like if Amazon and Uber had a baby. Have you seen
Yeah.
that?
Not locally, but yeah.
I think they have one locally because I think I like could have gotten it at one point, and then that was whenever my poor car got killed.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
I miss the little Versa, dude. Not that I don't love Misty, but Misty's a gas hog.
How much did you get to a gallon?
Teens.
Ooh. Oof.
It says that in like the little book that it gets more, but they cap in like 100%.
Yeah, my Camry, I'm getting like 20, 26, 28.
I, that's what I need. I need that exact same Camry back.
Yeah.
But the
Or
issue
just
is
get a
that
new Camry.
it's like a keychain now because
Keychain?
it got crushed up
Oh, yeah.
and probably recycled
Yeah.
into a little keychain.
Unfortunate but accurate.
I just hope though that it got turned into a keychain that had my name on it.
Hmm. There's a mat with your car one way.
That how sick would that be?
No, I mean that would be kind of cool. You could have probably kept some part of the car that it made into that.
I mean, I found some Plan B pills in that car,
That's
which
funny.
they were mine, but I did not purchase them, nor were any of them ever used. But I was at a Halloween party, and this drunk lady. It was at that same pizza place, and they were having a Halloween party,
Right.
and the lady came running up to me, and she's like, "You're so cute. You're gonna need some of these." And I was like, and I like looked at my manager. I was like, "What are these?" And they were like, "It's Plan B." And I was like, "Well, shouldn't I like give them back to her? I don't need these." And they were like, "No, those are expensive. Just keep them." And they were like, "You never know." And I was like, "I'm not gonna use these." And they were like, uh, "You never know, man. You never know." I'm like, "I'm not going to." To me,
You're right.
I feel like that's
Insulting almost.
I feel like it's almost like its own form of like abortion almost.
No, I mean it is to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to mess with it. So
I respect that.
I was just like I was like literally looking. I'm like, I am not going to use these. So they just ended up in my trunk. They sat in the trunk of my car for years, and
Hmm.
then that car got crushed, and now they're actually sitting in a bag underneath the dining room table.
Oh, nice. That's wonderful.
Where we've had very many family gatherings with, ironically, a bunch of children running around.
I was just thinking that actually. Like that's fantastic. And all the kids running around go, "What is that?"
Yeah, well, thankfully they don't play in there.
That is a blessing.
And plus that, I have a whole box of my business cards in there from Staples.
I remember you making those. I probably should have made some of my own, but I didn't.
It's not like I ever did anything with them. I just felt like it was cool for having them.
You were.
And honestly, of course, I didn't even have to ask for them either. John had just made them.
Yeah, you had a kind of an in there.
I still have that. I think I do, anyways. I think I still have that poster. You remember that poster of her and Ariel?
Yeah.
And Ariel made it because I was too nervous to ask her out.
Yes.
And the whole way that I started a conversation with her was, God, what did Ray tell me to say, and it actually worked? I don't know, something like I took a picture of it up on the wall, and I was like, I got you on my wall, but I'd rather you be in my bed or something like that. And
it worked.
It worked, I guess.
That's pretty dope.
And then I think it was like the next day I was getting a ticket for going like 100 miles an hour on Lincoln Parkway because I was late.
I also remember that.
The cop was just like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I'm late for work.
Why even?
It's like, I'm late for work. And he's like, "Why don't you leave earlier?" I was like, I was occupied.
Yeah, how bad was that ticket?
I am just glad that somehow my mom never found out about it.
Yeah, that's kind of well. I mean, you were an adult by then, though, so they weren't.
Yeah, but
gonna go tell your mom.
Yeah, but it was still like, I think it was either insurance or something. We were still linked together somehow.
I mean, that's fair.
But got away with it. And I was like, well, thank God. I was like, because then I would have had, like, even if she couldn't have done anything to me, I still would have got one of the mom talks.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, so like even if you know that you're doing something disrespectful or that your mama would think is disrespectful, it doesn't mean you want them to know about it. Somebody, you got any interesting stories with your old cars?
Oh, I mean,
Crazy situations you found yourself in?
um, crazy situation. I mean, I was driving people around in parties, I guess, in a stick shift. They thought I was showing off when I was like pull my e-brake a little before I'd actually stopped and just kind of turned the wheel a little bit. And they were like, "Oh, showing off for us." I was like, "No, I want you out quicker so I can go get." But I don't really, I mean, plenty of girls in front or back seat, but that's about it. There was nothing like I don't have any like crazy like cop walked up while I'm making out with somebody.
Hmm. I remember one time in that camp we were going down past going towards Freeman Lake, right down Ring Road, and
Yeah.
the car completely died, and with no power steering, like no nothing, like the car was just a brick. I had to change lanes and pull off in that little gravel section up there for the parking.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I had both my hands on the wheel like this, pulling it as hard as I could down because, like I said, I had no power steering. I was able to turn it over, coast up into that little gravel thing, and then while still like turning the wheel, I had to pull the emergency brake. And it was probably one of the most proudest that I've ever. It was one of the most proudest I've ever been in my driving, but also probably one of the most mad I've ever been.
Oh, I'm mad.
But because
'Cause,
also,
like it's no fun to go into brick mode.
yeah, and also his mom was in the car, so I was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That'll
so
add to it as well.
yeah, so I was also like nervous, like for her safety, and it's just
Your own.
embarrassing at the same time. It's also just embarrassing.
Oh my goodness. So I will say that is one thing. Like almost on the dot, every like 3 months, something would go wrong with that Honda Civic.
Yeah, that Honda Civic's the best though. If I'm thinking of the
I mean,
right
I
one.
love it. I still got it. Yeah, same car. Because I technically had a like 2003 Camry for like 8 months, and then that went by the wayside. So
I remember you had like it wasn't quite a station wagon, was it? But what was it?
I haven't ever had a station. Oh, my first car was a Ford Explorer, but you never saw that one.
No, what was I think it was one of your parents' cars that you drove to my house one time whenever your car had like
Oh,
died.
the Subaru Outback.
Yeah, I remember seeing you pull up in that one. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, Will. And then you're like, it's not mine.
Yeah, not mine. Well, not only that, it had such a problem with the transmission. It would lose gear if you drove it too much or it overheated. Like, and it didn't tell you it was getting hot. So good luck, buddy. Figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's when you just get one of those cooking thermometers and you just plug it in onto the heater, or onto the engine. Then you close your hood over it, but to where the numbers are showing out towards the driver. So while you're driving, you can see the temperature of the car. Why didn't you just do that?
I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Didn't think about that. I hadn't gone quite that jank with it yet.
What'd you say?
So I hadn't gone quite jank with it yet like that.
I'm trying to think if there's what other key points I want to hit here. Especially while I got you here, because these are rare moments.
Well, maybe not too rare for too long, but yeah.
I want to hear you go on a little Will rant about the steps that you've made to become better over the span of your lifetime.
Yeah, I mean,
Like key moments that you think helped shaped you to who you are today.
that's tough. Um, hmm, I don't know. Give me an example for yourself first.
The trip to Louisville with you.
Okay.
That was a very key
Um,
moment in me showing the kind of man that I can need to be when the situation calls for it.
yeah, that's awesome. By that, I guess, I remember when we first met, your ex was trying to talk to me. And so, I remember the day that, like, she was telling me you were all this stuff, and it seemed like a bold-faced lie, because you didn't act that way. And you were telling me
Yep.
all this stuff about her, and it kind of seemed accurate, and I was like, well, that decision's easy.
Yep, and now here we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird
Um,
because like our like really like us first like meeting and like becoming friends is like so like fuzzy for me.
how so?
Like I remember like the round top like when like the core of the thing was going on and then like when it really started and then like up to now. I remember all that, but like trying to think about like the getting to know you phase, I really don't remember it that well. So can you run that back for me and take me to just kind of like how you think our
So,
friendship
I
grew?
mean, it was kind of easy. You were outgoing. I was outgoing. We clicked pretty well. It mainly started when uh, I guess you were hanging around the tech desk a bit more, which was closer to
To the
I
register.
mean, the counter. Yeah, because it took me like a month or two to get off the counter, and it was
Yeah,
just
dude,
rough.
they like to trap you there
Leave me off there.
until they find another new person to torture it with.
Yeah, so I waited for the next person, but like even by like the first percent, you were trying to pull me off the register to come help do this or do that. Like, wait, really? It was just we kind of just clicked.
Maybe that's why I don't really remember it
I
too
mean,
well. Then.
it wasn't quite 0 to 1,000, but it was like 0 to 70, and then 80, 90, and 100 just round top in a couple days.
Yeah, because that's another thing I always try to remember is like how much time was in between like you working at like you starting working at Staples and like when Round Top started.
So I started working at Staples in, I think, mid of April. Yeah, because by mid of April I had two jobs. So I was working there and at Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
I started coming out to Round Top when I got to know you and Ray better after like the first 2 months. So some of it was still summer days, and then
well,
through winter for sure.
it was going into fall when we
Going
moved
into the
in.
fall. So I guess it would have been like August, July, August.
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere around in there.
Good. Fair enough. So come out there, and all of a sudden I mean, talking for
Yeah,
6 hours every night.
doing various other
Kind of random.
activities.
Various other sundries, yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's like the thing though, dude. Like it was such a bad situation, but
It was.
there were so many good times though that were in it.
But yeah, and that's like a lot of life. There's going to be a lot of bad. You just gotta, like, God will show you the good in it. You gotta run with that.
Did you get to talk to Ryan very much, our neighbor?
No.
Oh my gosh, that dude was crazy. I remember there was one day where I was standing on the porch and I was talking to Ray, and Ray was trying to mow the front yard, and Ryan's like,
Yeah.
"Hey boys, how's that mowing going?" And we look over at him. And he's got a beer in his cup holder, and he's got his feet propped up on his the steering wheel of his riding lawnmower, and he's just riding around. We were like, "Fuck you, buddy." Fuck.
Right?
I helped him.
All the.
I helped him carry a canoe into his house, and we had to move his couch out into like the hallway so that the canoe could lay down and take the place of his couch.
Okay.
It was just stuff like that, dude. It was like Round Top was like a TV show.
It kind of was. I mean, you could almost do a sitcom off it.
It was nuts, dude. Like we had the crazy wild neighbor. We had the long talks and emotional moments. We had the
Yes.
absolute crazy.
Parties.
My mindset was literally how many stories can I create,
I mean, you
and
batted 1,000 pretty good.
and I was cramming them in there as much as I could.
Mm-hmm. Worth.
Like all of my cop interactions really happened, except for that. There was one time I was in that shower over there,
Right.
and it was the first time I'd ever like snuck a girl into the house. It was like during the summer, and everybody was at work, and I brought her in, and we were in that shower. Somebody starts beating on my bathroom door, and I'm like, well, there's my parents. I'm screwed, and they're like, E-Town PD, open up. I was like, what? I was like, who is it? Like who? And then like
Run that by me again?
even louder, and he bangs hard. He goes, E-Town PD, open up. So I was like, all right. I was like, let me get out of the shower. So I like get out and I put my towel on, like open the door, and he's like, who are you? And I was like, told him my name, and I was like, and he goes, do you live here? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, and who's that? And I was like, my girlfriend. And he's like, does she live here? And I was like, no. I was like, why? I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, well, your alarm was going off, or I guess somebody triggered the alarm or something. And I like turned the alarm off, but I guess it didn't like actually turn it off
Click.
all the way.
Yeah.
So it rang the police department, and they came here. And whenever they actually opened up my sliding door, which by the way, they just ran all over my crib. But anyways, they let my dog out. So then I'm like wet. There's shampoo in my hair. I have clothes on that are wet because my body was soaking wet. And I'm walking
Of
around
course.
and I'm walking down the road with a bunch of cops trying to catch my dog.
That's funny.
And then I get back and she's like,
Uh,
I think I'm just gonna go home now. And I was like, I,
I don't blame you.
I was like, I don't blame you.
Sadness.
But I don't know, dude. It's just like, I think I tend to forget how like now I look at it, I'm like,
Wild it really was.
I like do stuff now and I'm like, fuck, why did I do that? Why did I do that? But in like comparison to what I was doing back then,
It's easy street, buddy.
it's night and day. Yeah, I just had to get myself away from the fuckery for a little bit. But then per
I mean, that's
usual,
usually how it goes.
I took it too far and then got way too far out of the fuckery. And then you kept annoying me
Yeah.
and bugging me and pestering me to death, and now here we
That's what
are.
I'm here for.
Now here we are.
hmm
That's like I said. I remember like when it would take me like 5 minutes to open up all your snaps. I'd be like damn, like oop.
Yeah, because I would send them for like a week or two, and then I'd be like, well,
Or longer.
I'm obviously not reaching it. Yeah, like I'm sadly not reaching it. I guess we'll just kind of see what happens.
And then like I would forget that you'd have my number and you'd send me like a random text message. Be like, hey, do you have Snap? And I'd be like, yeah, why?
I'm looking at like a break.
Yeah.
20 snaps
I-
every morning. Like, I don't know, man. I was just curious.
I'd be like, yeah, I don't get on there very much though. And you're like, no shit.
Yeah, no, right? Oh no.
I don't know, dude. It was just like to talk to anybody or do anything was just exhausting.
No, I get it. And you were going through a rough time, so
Yeah,
I'm just
but
glad you're not anymore.
fuck the pills though.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
did so much better once I got off stopped trying to mess with the medicines too.
And I'm glad that they will also change you as much as almost anything else.
Yeah, I didn't want to get to the point where I was being all zombie mode.
Yeah, zombie mode
I
sucks.
I know the medicines help people, but I think the reason why they wouldn't really work for me is because kind of like the same discussion that we have about religion.
Okay.
I see the pills as being the same thing.
Okay. I think I can understand it.
Yeah, so like where some people would be like, oh, well, I believe in God, so He'll help me, and then like other people are like, oh, well, I take these medicines, so I believe they help me. I'll be like, yeah, but this is you like just believing in something. I have an issue with like just believing in one certain thing, so I was like, I'll just do it by myself.
Yeah.
And it's worked the same
I
way.
mean, I don't I don't I don't think it does though.
It's almost like a crutch placebo effect. I do see religion as a big placebo effect, though. If that's the right thing. If I am using that correctly.
Uh okay.
Yes, I am using that
mean,
correctly. And yes, I do feel
I
that way.
believe you are, yes. I disagree on bounds of what I'm an adamant Christian.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if that's what you want to call yourself. Chat, this is one of the fakest Christians I know right here.
yeah, go ahead.
Look, you're trying to look just like God. You're not supposed to build yourself in His image.
That is the exact reason I tried to grow my hair out super long. It was so, in fact, I would in fact be compared to Jesus. That is, you caught me.
You're trying to be a false idol. Telling you, man, you can't sneak this
Wow.
shit past me. I'm the most wise person you know. I'm the funniest and the most wise person you know, and you don't count as being the funniest person you know because that doesn't count. That's biased.
But I am the funniest person I know.
You don't know yourself though. Only God knows you. and me,
Okay.
because we chatted about it one time over brunch.
Okay. I'm glad you and God talked, at least. You know, it does me some good.
Yeah, I didn't know he was vegan. That one really threw me off guard.
I would have high doubts, but
I know he said he just started over the last couple millennial or something like that.
gotcha. So I'll have to keep that in mind. You're laughing.
One of these days we'll write a book together.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I almost feel like we should start doing a thing where, here we go. This is a new thing for us to do, to add to our list and to fill in the next 4 minutes till it's 11:30. So we should each do alternating weeks, or we could, speed it up if we would like. We can discuss that later. But where we write a page, and then email it to the other one,
And then they write a page.
and then they write a page, and then we just go back and forth with our pages.
Okay,
And
but if you're gonna do that,
and as we write the page, if there's something in it that the other one thinks should be done differently, then we could talk about it too. And then we can like bounce off of each other, but also still be like discussing it and working out where it could go into the future, like kind of as we're, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we can proofread it and edit it as we're going too. So like,
yeah. Sounds dope. I'm in.
but what would you?
I like the idea of what we need to do is like with D&D, you need to write up a character though, and have like, all right, this is my character. It's like, if you're going to do like major things with him outside of his, like just being involved, like ask.
Yeah.
I guess that's what you're like bouncing stuff off each other would be like.
Yeah, so that'll be our first goal. By the end of the week, we have to have, because we're gonna be in it. Like,
Well, yeah.
Mateo Mendoza's gonna be in there, and Uncle Squills.
You will see many of my D&D characters.
I was gonna say, and obviously it's gonna be fantasy. I mean, it has to be.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
What? Yeah. What else are we gonna do?
Yeah, it's got to be fantasy, and my name is not gonna be Spanish.
I hope not. Although, if you wanted it to be, I mean, it's whatever you want to do.
I was gonna say it'd be really random. Be like, how did you get here? And it'd be like, oh, I got drunk and fell asleep on the boat.
I mean, most like, cultures in a D&D campaign of any kind are based off of other cultures. So, like, this...
I'll be an elf, though.
Humans... I mean, half my characters have been drow, dark elves.
Now, see, dark elves not as much. Dark elves are kind of creepy. But regular elves are sick.
I mean, I think they're pretty
Because
good,
they're beautiful and they're badass. You can't beat that. You cannot beat beautiful and badass.
There's beautiful in the darkness.
Not in dark elves. Dark elves are fucking ugly.
Dude, get out of here. Get out of here. Dark elves can...
Like they can look
just
badass.
what you want.
No, they can look badass, but they ugly.
I think they even get a class charisma bonus. So, like, call me a horse, dog.
Why would I call you a horse's dog? I love your mother. That would be very insulting to her.
You're good there.
Dude, I hate that I met her though, because I can't make your mom jokes to you anymore without feeling bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like-
I met your mom first. Imagine how I felt.
I'll be like, I'm sorry, Will, I gotta say it, and you'll be like, what? And then I'll like cringily like sputter it out, and then I'll be like, I'm so sorry, and you'll be like, It's okay. I knew you were going to do it.
Well, yeah, because like even a blind man can see that.
Yeah. I think just whenever you can see the pain in my soul, you're like, oh, he's going to try to do it. There it comes.
So there was this blind man, right? There was this blind man one time. He was walking down the street, right?
I think we talked about that song on here one time, actually.
Oh, I believe it.
Because I started singing it, and I think I got told to shut up. But, anywho, chat, it's been great being over here on YouTube. And Will is...
Our pleasure.
Yep.
As always, our pleasure.
Will's been our great host for these last 2 days. And do you say you have to go to bed early tomorrow night?
I do. I have work tomorrow.
Because
tomorrow, Saturday, full day.
Yep, tomorrow will be the game night. So I'm thinking it's going to be me by myself, unless... Like I said, I didn't think you'd be on. Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to...
Yeah, you'll be up to like 2, and I'll be up to like 10:30.
And I don't think I'll be able. I'm probably gonna get text messages telling me that I can't do this because I've already been called out in chat once tonight.
What?
Just conversation.
Okay.
But so I don't think that I can do anything else but play zombies for game night tomorrow night. And I swear to God, if I get any flack from it, I'm gonna come through this camera, and you know who I'm talking to? I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm playing zombies tomorrow night, and I'm gonna stream for like 6 or 7 hours on the Heathen Sound channel, and that's me putting in my work. So if you got a problem with that, I got 2 words for you. Suck it. But anyways, Will, say your goodbyes.
Au revoir, bonne chance. I will see you in a little bit.